Melanie smiled as Courtney was wheeled off to the changing table. She moved to the center of all the girls, and smiled at every one of them. "And how is everybody doing?" Melanie cooed. "I see we're all enjoying ourselves. This is the special nursery, where Mommy sends me when I've been really bad. I asked her about using it, and she said she didn't mind. I figured this would be the perfect place for everything." A few of the girls moaned, and one of them responded by farting loudly. Melanie laughed. "Isn't this fun? Now you all see how much I enjoyed everything you did to me." She looked at her watch. "After Courtney has had a brief nap, we're all going to enjoy playtime. Doesn't that sound fun, little Tiffany?" Each of the girls made a muffled umph sound from behind their pacifiers. "Well, good. You girls behave while we all go eat, and Courtney takes a little nap." Melanie walked toward the changing table, watching as Courtney was garnered with diaper upon diaper. It was like somebody had stuffed several pillows down her pants. Melanie smiled. She might even want to go through this later, just for fun. She left the nursery, laughing all the way. Courtney looked at the other girls resting on their padded behinds. Courtney was still in the thick pink sleeping bag, and couldn't move at all, save her fingers and toes. All the padding she was wrapped in made it impossible to do anything. Courtney was surprised she wasn't hot. The room must be extremely cold, she thought. She moaned as she was overcome by the urge to relieve herself again. She again exploded into her diapers, causing more and more of her mess to spread throughout the thirsty absorbent mass. The door opened, and Melanie waddled in. She unzipped the sleeping bag, giving Courtney slightly more range of motion. She was still practically helpless, however. "How is everybody doing?" Melanie asked cordially. All the girls looked up at her and made acknowledging grunts from behind their pacifiers. "That's wonderful," Melanie exclaimed, mockingly. "Does anybody need to be changed?" The grunting became more forceful, and her question was fully answered by a messy fart from Tiffany. Most of the girls were continually shifting in their ridiculous outfits, trying to keep the mess they had each excreted away from their skin. "Sounds like everybody is doing fine," she smiled. "Everything will be taken care of later. For now, you'll be fed and cleaned up, slightly. After that, it's a brief nap, and then playtime." She clapped her hands with enthusiasm and turned around, leaving the host of girls helpless in diapers on the floor. The girls each struggled for a while, until one of them managed to get the pacifier out of their mouths. She demonstrated to the others how she did it, and they all followed suit. "What the hell does she think she's doing?" exclaimed Tiffany. "I think she's snapped," volunteered Grace. "I think she was crazy to begin with," added Courtney spitefully. "How are we going to get out of this?" The girls talked for about 15 minutes, tossing around different plans of escape and revenge. None of them seemed practical at all. They were in a very secure location, they didn't know where they were, and weren't mobile enough to get out. Their thickly padded feet and hands couldn't carry them anywhere, or allow them to grip anything. The zippers on their rompers were too small to grasp through the cottony mitts. The diapers they were wearing, all quite full, made even crawling difficult. And none of them had gotten any decent sleep. They'd been kept awake all night wetting and messing themselves. Their planning session was interrupted by the 2 orderlies that had attended them before. They were each dragged back to their respective hammocks and resealed in the pink sleeping bags. The orderlies hadn't bothered to change them, but did connect them all to feeding lines once again. The girls all squirmed, reciting the orderlies, but to no avail. The best they did was knock one over, but he quickly recovered, and the girls were too slow to make anything of the small victory anyhow. The 2 orderlies strapped them into the hammocks, and left. The lights went out shortly afterwards, and a soothing voice began to play over the intercom. It told them over and over again, "Go to sleep now. Concentrate on my voice, it is all you can hear and think about. Concentrate. Whenever you are told you're being a baby, you will be under my control as a baby. Whatever I say, you will do. And when I say to act your age, you'll be yourself again." The girls eventually all nodded off, entranced by the message playing. The girls awoke, finding themselves propped upright around a table in the middle of the room. Each of them had been changed, wearing no more than 2 diapers. The rompers were gone as well, they were just in diapers, and a bra. The girls were relieved at the absence of the exceedingly thick diapers of before, and were more comfortable without their excess bulk. They all turned toward the door as Melanie walked in. "Hey everyone," she greeted. The girls looked back at her, faces blank. "Glad to see you too. You're such a baby though, Tiffany," she said.